everyone, my name is Gary Cassidy and I'm the new lead writer for Inside the Ropes website, which is itrwrestling.com. You might be seeing a little bit more of me on the YouTube channel though, as I do a few interviews with some very special guests. Here's one of them, hopefully you enjoy it. Chris Jericho, I mean, he's just surpassed his 30-year anniversary in wrestling. Saw your little thank you message to him, your little congratulations message to him. What do you think of Chris Jericho overall, and what's the key to his success?
Creativity, talent, and work ethic. Like Chris Jericho, I put The Rock as the hardest working human being in the world. Because, he's working on so many things. Number 2, I put Chris Jericho. Wrestler, rock star, podcast icon. He's in that top echelon of that. Game show host, actor. I mean, what the fuck doesn't he do? And he's constantly recreating himself. Constantly. I love the new, it's like, what's he going to do next? Yeah. And at some point, I'm sure he may change again. But I think he's got a really long run in what he's doing right now. I think that this might be his last one, but you can't say that because right when you get comfortable with who he's being, he's going to change. Mainly because he doesn't want to get stale, ever. And, if you look at people like Madonna, William Shatner, people who are constantly recreating themselves. Diamond Dallas Page, always recreating myself. As a wrestler, he's done it so many times, it's mind-boggling because he's been successful time after time after time. So, and I love the guy. I think he's amazing. He is, that I have a little bit to do with him still being able to do this. Chris Jericho speaks so passionately. Forget what he's doing the ad on his podcast. It doesn't matter if they're a rock star, a wrestler, a football player, it doesn't matter. He's going to say, you need to do DDP Yoga. And then if he's a friend of his, he's going to send me an email and them an email, and I'm going to set them up, Yeah,
well, that's one thing that, through the course of this whole past 6 months, people have been stuck inside, not able to go to gyms or anything like that. Me personally, I'm sitting in a chair maybe 10 to 14, maybe more than that hours a day. Over the past 3 months, I've started doing DDPY, and man, the change has been phenomenal. Even just waking up and doing a couple of diamond cutters, it's like, and I know that people that have not experienced DDPY might think I'm hitting someone with a diamond cutter, but just the diamond cutter, the reverse cobra, essentially, when you're standing up, it's definitely changed me. How important is DDPY for people during this time when they maybe can't go to a gym, can't exercise, can't do sports? How important do you think it is that they do something like that to keep themselves in shape?
Well, just being at the computer, just being at the computer beats the hell out of your body because the way you're slumped over, your shoulders are run in, and you're typing. Like, it's really uncanny. Just standing up, leaning back, hulking it up, it opens your body. I'm about to release, the workouts are already up on my app, but the straps, the DDPY cuffs that go with it aren't available yet because I'm just at the end of my testing and everything is all go. We're about to release DDPY Jacked. And DDPY Jacked is like DDPY on steroids. And what I mean by that is we're dealing with blood flow restriction. So the straps or cuffs go around the top part of your bicep and, if you want, your quads. They were originally used for rehabilitation because of the blood flow that gets trapped into your muscles, whether you're doing biceps or chest or shoulders, it's going to focus there. And one of the things, back to the match that we were talking about with Cody, I had been training with the straps for 4 months at that point in time. Like, my body looked unbelievable, especially considering I was 3 months away from 64 years young. And a lot of the reason why I looked that good was because I took it to a different level with the DDPY straps. And on my birthday, which was in April, I could never do more than 10-second push-ups, which I've only known 3 people who could ever do that many. Yeah. Like, you lower for 10, hold for 10, and then push up for 10. I've never seen more than 3 people ever do 10 push-ups. I was one of them. And I'd only done it twice. I'd done 9 probably 10 times, but I could do 8 pretty much at will. But that 9 was really hard. I did have a good day. 10, like I said, I did it twice. I never did more than that. After 6 months with my DDPY jacked, straps, cuffs, I don't know whether I'm going to call it straps or cuffs yet, with those blood flow restriction bands, I did 11 and a half on my 64th birthday. Jeez. And I thought I was going to get 12. But when I got 10, 9, 8, and then I just got stuck. And I had to lower a knee, and that's when I finished it off. But it was amazing that I could get stronger in my mid-60s. So I know I'm on to something really big. And I honestly feel next year, this time, I will have changed a portion of the face of fitness again.
Yeah, definitely again. And that's one thing that, I mentioned someone like me, I'm just turned 30. It's definitely helped me a lot. But another person that's helped a lot is Jake the Snake Roberts. If anyone hasn't seen the documentary, it's insane just how drastic that change is. He's still getting back in the ring now, maybe not wrestling matches, but he's still getting back in the ring and looks better than ever. I know you took him in over the kind of past few months as well. How is Jake doing? What do you feel like when you watch him on AEW now?
Well, Jake's like a different cat now. It's really fascinating because, this Jake is super positive. This Jake wants to live, wants to be healthy, wants to feel amazing, because he's working nonstop and he loves it. And he's 65. Like, Jake and I have been really blessed in the way that we have a whole second act that, we never really saw coming. His is comedy, acting, Comic-Cons when they come back. But his one-man show is really amazing. And once people can come out, now the fact that it meant so much to him that Cody gave him an opportunity. And it was only for 10 weeks. And at the end of those 10 weeks, they wanted to keep him on. Yeah. So, Cody, it's really interesting. Cody treats the legends with a lot of respect, but a little bit of royalty too. Like, he gets it. And I don't want to set out any individual, but a lot of, it doesn't always work like that, So I'm just happy for the guys who get the opportunity to still work and, keep the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, definitely. And I've only got two last questions. The first one I want to ask, I know you're not a man who has many regrets in any way because you've got such a positive outlook. The one thing that I think was a missed opportunity was obviously what you done when you got to WWE, the storyline they put you in where you were the stalker. If you could go back, what's the one match or rivalry you should have had?
The easiest one ever. People's Champion versus People's Champion. Let me tell you the positive side. No, yeah, but the positive side was this. Like, Vince McMahon's been very good to me. Yeah. I have nothing but good things to say about the WWE. Did I go in there and get what I wanted going in? No, but I didn't realize that we really were the enemy coming in there. Yeah. And they bought us, but they had no intention to do anything with us. But it was business. It was to show that the WWF, because it was still two companies at that time, that they won the war. And we're not going to shine these guys now, but to just, what that did for me, because I did pitch Vince, People's Champion versus People's Champion, but they were so set on me doing the stalker thing, but they didn't put a gun to my head. Yeah. It's like, you want to do it or not? Like, and I talked myself into it because no one could really talk me into anything. I talked myself into it, and I walked away from $487,000. WCW owed me $1.27, which means $1,270,000. They wouldn't give me it all if I left. And if I wasn't 45 at the time, I probably would have just waited. But I was 45. And they did want me. And I didn't realize what it was for at the time. But again, it taught me a lesson. And I'm so grateful to Vince for teaching me the lesson of you can't be afraid to walk away from the table. Yeah. And what I mean by that is when someone gives you an opportunity and they really want you, and you're not really satisfied with what the offer is, you could just easily get up and walk away from the table. You can't be afraid to do that. And I learned that lesson the hard way. And you never heard me over that angle or anything talk negative about the WWE in any way, because it'll never happen. Because Triple H, Vince McMahon, Stephanie, everybody, Shane, all of them have been really good to me. Not the immediate moment when I got there, but taking it like a man and learning the lessons of what I needed to learn. And then 5 years later, when they started doing the very best of Nitro, they asked me to do that. And then they brought me in for this, and they brought me in for that. Like, if it wasn't Cody Rhodes, I never would have done anything with any other wrestling group. Yeah. Like, ever. And I still have a loyalty to WWE because they were really good to me. They let me induct Jake. They brought us to the Legends night, to the Legends Raw when Jake was in the middle of his transformation. Yeah. They let me do a commercial. Friggin' Triple H came up to me. He goes, listen, you're gonna do this thing with Booker. Get your shit over. Show the DVDs. Do whatever you want. Throw the foot in the air. That's impressive as hell. We'll have Rod Simmons come in at the end and do the damn thing. And And I was like, great. The really cool thing that happened out of that was when that happened, it drove so much people coming to our site that it, I can't remember what it's called, but when your site shuts down, it overloaded. That's the bottom line. And now no one can even get on our site to get our product because it got overloaded. So later we would do that show, Shark Tank. You guys call it Dungeons, Dragons, and
Dragon's
something.
Den. Yeah, Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den. We did that show. If that night we don't shut down our site because I'm on the WWE doing a little 1.5-minute infomercial, that they let me do on that show. And if that doesn't happen, we never have the company that we have, because we went, wow, if that shut us down, what will happen when we're on Shark Tank? So my business partner, Steve Yu, he's a genius. He went to the place that handles the websites and the servers, they're called, one server after another. We had 25 servers on. So when that server flipped up, it went to another, went to another, went to another, went to another. That's what I learned that night. And they also put Jake the Snake Roberts on the same show, and no one saw it coming. Yeah. Like, that's what WWE did for me. They let me wear my DDP Yoga shirts. Who do they let do that? Brock and Rock.
Yeah.
Or Triple H will do whatever he wants to do, but of the boys, they let me do all of that. I've worn DDP Yoga shirts all over WWE TV. And they've let me do that. So I understand the first go around. And thank God I learned a lesson, because with my DDPY company, I can't tell you how many times I got up and walked away from the table very nicely. Yeah. But that deal doesn't work for me. And it's one of the reasons now I'm worth like 10 times that I was in wrestling. Yeah. And it's not about the money to me. It's about making DDPY a household name, because it's helped so many people. One of the things that I do on my app, and if anybody wants to try my app, you're over there in the UK or wherever you're watching this, you get 7 free days to try it. Just go to ddpy.com or ddpyoga.com. You get it for 7 days. You get motivational Mondays every Monday. New workouts. There's over 300 workouts on there. Oh, but you're going to kill me with those workouts. My bed flex workouts start off in bed. Yeah. Then chair force, sit in a chair. Then stand strong, use a chair. Bobby Fish, that's the one thing I'm bummed out about a little bit, that I don't get to go and train the new talent anymore, because I helped AEW. And I get that, I had to pick a side. I'm still a WWF guy. I appreciate what they do, but Cody Rhodes is my boy, so if he needs me to do something, like, I don't have no contract with them. Jake does, Arn does. I don't have one. I do stuff for them because I want to, because it helps Cody. And if he wants me, I'm there. If he doesn't, I'm not. And I'm no pain in the ass to him. If he needs me, I'm there. Love what he's doing. But when it comes to the program and what we're doing, the Motivational Mondays, getting people, it isn't just DVDs. Like every week I'm hitting you with more stuff that's going to keep you more locked in. And we have this site, and everybody's got Facebook all around the world. There's a site that my members developed for themselves, and it's DDP Yoga, one word. When I started this, there was about 47,000 people on there. And I'd go on there occasionally reading, but about 2 months ago, I started like, oh my God, this one story after another. There's this guy, I believe his name's Adam Plummer. He's from the UK. And he meets this woman on the Facebook site. They're helping each other, and you know, everybody helps each other. It's like the most unbelievable community. They end up getting married. He lives in the UK and she lived in Ohio.
Yeah.
I just saw this like amazing over the last 2.5 years that someone sent them to me because I never saw them, of the stuff that he's done on that Facebook site. So now on Fridays, I do Fabulous Facebook Friday. I put a new one up today. And it's just me reading something that's on there. And in the last month and a half, now there's 52,000 people on there. Because people are like, wow, I want to be around that. You know, it's really dark in our world right now. And there's been no fallout yet. All those businesses that have been closed, when they try to reopen and they still don't have the people, like there's a lot of fallout that's coming. So you want to try to stick yourself around as many positive entities as possible, you know, and control what you can control. And this is the picture my brother brought to me.
Yeah.
Me diving through the air. I used to have a picture of Eddie Guerrero's brother, Chavo's dad,
yeah.
Mondo Guerrero. Chavo Sr. When I first broke into AWA, he was at the end of his run, but still a wild man. He was a Guerrero. And I was 31. The manager, 1988. And I used to have a picture of me and Bad Company, Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond. And I had no idea this was going to happen. Chavo ran up to the top rope and dove. And the picture was him in full springboard. And me like, what the fuck is he doing? And then he landed down on us. I had no idea. It was my first day. We filmed 4 shows. It was on the 4th show. I had never seen that before. So for that to be my first day in professional wrestling, and maybe as a worker, this be my last,
yeah.
I'm good with that. And that's what I told Cody. When Cody said, so do you think there's another one maybe? And I was like, bro, what you designed, because he designed that whole thing. I did what I did on my own, but he laid it out, including the jumping off the top rope, because I never would have said that. And he was like, it's going to be great. And I believed him. And it was amazing. And if that's the last thing I do, again, what a way to, he talked about it in Relentless, the new documentary we have coming out. And it's like heading off into the sunset. You know, I don't know how we can do anything better than that.
Yeah.
But if he comes up with it, then I'll do it. But, you know, I'd have to really, if he believed it, I would believe it. So right now I got a lot of other things to do right now. So not on my agenda right now.
Most definitely. And I've got one final question. This might be the easiest question or the hardest question ever, but I need to ask. You know, you're a Hall of Famer. You've changed a lot of people's lives. What does DDP want his legacy to be?
12 years ago, you know who Brian Alvarez is?
Yeah.
Do you know who Brian Alvarez is?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian was just starting, you know, his interviews and stuff, podcasts. Me and him have been friends for a few years at that time. And he had done the program.
Yeah.
And he said to me, so where is Diamond Dallas Page? Now remember, this is 12 years ago. He says, where is Diamond Dallas Page 5 years from today? And I said, 5 years from now, I will be the new Jack LaLanne, which was an old school fitness guy on our TV we grew up with. The new Jack LaLanne meets Tony Robbins meets straight Richard Simmons. You know, I help a lot of big people. And I said, I honestly believe that my program will end up overshadowing my wrestling career. And at that time, 12 years ago, people heard of it, but really didn't believe it. They didn't believe in it. Some did, but masses had no idea. And he was like, come on, DDP, that's a bold statement. You had a hell of a career. I was like, yeah, but I just, you know, I see it. And I mainly saw it because I had already seen what I did with Arthur Borman. I'd watched what he did. That was 13 years ago. And I knew what was possible. And my wrestling career, I consider it not starting when I was 23 because I had 3 matches. I started when I was 31, trying to be a manager, color commentator, wrestler. It took 8 years to be an overnight success. That was 1996. In DDP Yoga / DDPY, it took me 8 years before I made a dime. I had $548,000 invested in the program. And at the moment, it looked like I was never going to see that money again. Yeah. And I never really focused on the money. I focused on the work and just kept putting money in. And I would have put money in until I didn't have any more money. And I was close. And 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago, it took off. And we ain't ever looked back. We just grow every year. You know, and it's mainly because it's organic. And people tell people because whether it's they're getting out of pain, we have so many save my life, forget change my life, save my life. You're going to see, I'll leave you with this. You're going to see a video come out next year sometime. It'll be a guy who's 6'7", 698 pounds. On his own, he loses 172 pounds. Walking, changing what he ate. But his body was so beat up that he really couldn't even walk anymore. He was so beat up. So he started our program. In 1 year, he lost 173 pounds. In 20 months, and the second half coming on with us, he would end up losing 387 pounds.
Jeez.
20 months. Forget the weight loss. couldn't do a push-up to be able to do 5-second push-ups, to be able to lift his foot up, to be able to like have the confidence in him that he'd never had. And that's what the program's about, helping give people confidence. If there's one thing, if they put the work in, I know they're going to feel better about themselves. They're going to get more confidence. You can't pay for confidence.
Yeah, most definitely. And I agree with that. And it's one thing that I can definitely say in a few months of using it, I feel exactly the same way. Thank you so much, Dallas, for your time. I really appreciate it. I kind of hope we'll see one more match, but we'll wait and see on that one. I know it was a perfect ending, if not. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it.